Matt. This is Killer Carl, and welcome to... Hey, me and Matt here, and this is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fear. Oh yeah, we haven't really done this today yet. No, we usually don't. Well, by the time this will be uploaded, well, I'll have to figure that out, but yes, today is Sunday, and usually we do things on a Friday, but if you haven't checked it out already while I'm at it, go look back at your series episode. We just uploaded it. It'll be uploaded on Monday. I can say uploaded a couple times. Anyways.
Uploaded.
Yeah. So, we are going to talk about Night of the Champions, Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
So.
It was initially going to be King and Queen of the Ring tournament, like they did last year, and then they scrapped that idea and went with Night of Champions instead.
I kind of thought maybe that this was going to happen in October.
Yeah, really.
Or November, but I don't know when the last Night of Champions was.
It's been a few years.
Oh, okay.
Probably 18, maybe?
Really, that long?
I think.
Jesus. And I mean...
Because for a little while,
yeah,
Night of Champions hasn't been on the docket for pay-per-views.
Right.
And you're like, you said you thought it'd be October or November. Well, I mean, November would be, you'd have to do it before Survivor Series. And October would be, yeah, I guess. But
well, Saudi Arabia, they had the Queen and King of the Ring in, I thought, September.
I think it was September last year.
So, no, for some reason, they're coming back to Saudi Arabia, so whatever. I mean, there's not too many matches on this card, and yeah, since this is basically the last Raw and SmackDown before Saturday, yes, this is on a Saturday, that's why we're doing this now, then I don't see anything else, except for maybe Sheamus and Austin Theory, because they did this thing on SmackDown. And then, of course, we're going to talk about that match, even though it's not on the card.
Yeah, well, not listed anyways.
So, yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah!
So let's start with the Raw Women's Championship. We have Bianca Belair versus Asuka, a rematch, I guess?
Yeah, rematch from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think this would be the right time to take the title off of Bianca.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she retained the title, set a record for the longest championship reign of the modern era. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. It just doesn't make all that much sense to have her on SmackDown with the Raw Women's Championship. And, same with Rhea Ripley being on Raw with the SmackDown Women's Championship. So, and I said, I think it was doing a Facebook Live or doing a video recently for something. Have the... Okay, you don't have Rhea defending the SmackDown Women's Championship. And of course, you got Bianca defending the Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship at Night of Champions. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you know, she has the reign for the longest Women's Championship reign in the modern era. Great, fantastic. But she's going to be a permanent fixture on Raw, or on SmackDown, if you will. This would be the time to put the title on Asuka and do something with her, with this new character, if you want to call it that, because she's got her face all done up, and, well, she's like, she'll do these kind of weird things with like mist and that. With the big matches, she'll do up her, paint up her face and whatever. It's like, okay, cool, a different side of Asuka. But you haven't done jack fuck all squat daily shit with her since then. So now would be the time to give her the push.
You see, this is what I was afraid of, and I fucking said this before. Because you have the brand split, you took Bianca Belair, you put her on SmackDown. She's still the Raw Women's Champion. You've got Rhea Ripley, you have her still with Judgment Day, you put her on Raw. She's still the SmackDown Women's Championship. Backlash, you could have did the right thing. You could have changed the titles, but you couldn't even fucking do that. Whatever. Backlash. Not only that, but you decided to put the NXT Women's Champion on Raw, SmackDown, whatever the fuck. And then, of course, the NXT Tag Team Champions. Well, the women's NXT, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Because why you had to have the brand split in the first place is beyond me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is the sense? You know, obviously you weren't going to do the thing like you did with Charlotte and Becky and swap the titles inside the ring.
Right.
But honestly, you could have had them change hands. Why not? Like, what is the fucking point? There was no point to this.
And see, it's exactly like I said, we were doing the Backlash prediction video. You know, when Rhea defended against Zelina and Bianca sold, I can't even fucking remember. You could have had them either lose the titles then, or, you know, hold it over until Night of Champions and then have them lose the titles. I mean, we'll see what happens eventually with the SmackDown Women's Championship. But yeah, this would be the perfect time to have Bianca lose, and then you're gonna have the Raw Women's Championship stay on Raw with Asuka.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Bianca is the longest Raw Women's Champion. So, I think that's a good feat in itself.
Yes.
So, yeah, you know what? I agree with Kyle. Let's have Asuka win. Because she's got the Kana persona. So, let's just give Asuka the title. Let's see this go. Let's have it ride out. Because, again, Bianca's on SmackDown now. So, let's have the right thing happen. And then maybe, who knows, Bianca can become two-time SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah, potentially.
So,
It's interesting to me, though, how they say, oh, you know, Bianca's the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era. I have no idea how many days she's been champion. It's been over a year, I know that much.
oh yeah, no, she won the title from Becky last year
Mm-hmm.
at WrestleMania. So, this year she had defended it and retained it from Asuka this year at WrestleMania. So, yeah, technically she is the longest reigning women's champion in the modern era. Yeah, again, whatever the fuck that means. I guess now today standards, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who the longest women's champion really is.
Yeah,
before that, so
yeah. Yeah, so we're talking Bianca's been champion probably 370 days ish.
Yeah, something like that.
So now we go on to the Intercontinental Championship. You got Gunther defending against Mustafa Ali. And I mean, okay, it's great to see Mustafa Ali on TV again. I haven't seen him on TV in, it's gotta be at least the better part of 3 years. 2 for sure.
Right.
And then he's like, he, you know, reemerges and he's this happy-go-lucky guy. And it's like, okay, cool. And you put him in this battle royal for a #1 contender to Gunther, and he wins it, and it's like, okay, give him an opportunity at a championship, good, fine. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long night for Mustafa.
Short and simple. Walter.
Yeah, I got a feeling Mustafa's got a one-way ticket to Chop City.
The thing that really fascinates me, because I said this before, I'll say it again, I'll say it until I burn in the face. I believe that the Intercontinental Championship has been relevant since Walter has won it. Because
Gunther is doing right now what Miz did with the Intercontinental title.
2018?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was over a consecutive, a number of reigns for Miz, and this, it's been one consecutive reign for Gunther. But yes, the Intercontinental Championship is relevant again. Like, when Miz held it, it'd go back, and Miz would hold it, and then somebody else would beat him for it. Still, it would be defended regularly, and then it kind of ended up falling off the radar for a little while, and then Gunther won it, and he just elevated it. And one thing that was said, I think it was by Michael Cole, on an episode of SmackDown, is the Intercontinental Championship is the working man's title.
And it is. It definitely is the workhorse title. And, once again, I repeat myself. Back when I started watching wrestling, hell, even before then you could say, the Intercontinental Championship was kind of a promissory that one day you could get the WWF title.
Oh, yeah.
Now there are people like Roddy Piper, Jacques Rougeau, the Honky Tonk Man, there's a fucking list. They never got the WWF title. Okay, fine. But it is that, okay, we believe in you, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
Kurt Hennig, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the list goes fucking on.
Rock, Triple H, etc., etc.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. So, you have someone like Gunther, you have someone that holds the title with prestige. A guy who has been in the ring for, I don't even know how many years in Europe, going all the way to NXT UK, going to NXT, then making his way to SmackDown. And it's like, we gave him the Intercontinental title. He has a hell of a match with Sheamus. So, let's see where this goes. I bet you any money Now, if they're gonna make him like, let's say, the Honky Tonk Man, then let's make him like the Honky Tonk Man and have him lose at SummerSlam. That rhymes a little bit. Have somebody debut or return, whatever, and we'll see what happens. Because, and obviously Mustafa's not gonna win.
No.
That's a given fact.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know who could really take Gunther down.
Yeah. Who would be a viable threat to the title, so to speak? Don't know.
So, I mean, it's a good match for sure. But, obviously, Mustafa's gonna go into the Chops buffet. You know, that's just the way it is. And that's nothing to take away from Mustafa Ali. I mean, he's had a lot of shit being thrown his way in the past couple of years. Retribution.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? Obviously, we said what we said. We'll see what happens in the near future, but Gunther is unstoppable.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I have a feeling at some point you have got to put tag titles on Da Vinci and Kaiser.
Yeah. And, you know, I can see that happening fairly soon, actually.
Yeah.
You know? Let's just hope that they have two separate tag team straps.
Yeah.
Like... Speaking of which...
Speaking of the tag team titles,
we have the tag team championship match. We've got the bloodline of Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns versus Kevin and Sammy.
the Quebecois.
Damn the New Quebecers.
Yeah. Please, 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 for the love of fucking God, do not make Roman 4 belts.
Yeah.
We don't fucking need that. Roman as Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion is good enough. We don't need double Undisputed Champion. Like, oh, the Undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion and one half of the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. Holy fuck, that's a long ass fucking title.
Yeah. I don't see that happening, no, pal. I think
I don't see it either.
As far as I'm concerned, the bloodline is imploding.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's gonna take some time, obviously, but yeah, they're definitely imploding. And once again, you talk about Gunther as the longest Intercontinental Champion. You fucking have Roman Reigns 3 years in a row. I mean, it'll be 3 years right after SummerSlam.
Yes.
But, again, you look at who is going to dethrone Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where I don't really know what's going to happen. And the fact of the matter is I don't see any way, shape, or form that Roman and Solo are going to capture the tag team titles. I mean, we just talked about the Imperium and Sammy and Kevin, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm thinking, and I know that they're not going to do that. That would be stupid.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't give a shit about, oh, well, this hasn't happened before, so let's try it. No. We don't put the belts on Roman. He's already got 2, which is stupid in itself. So, yeah, obviously, Sammy and Kevin still reign.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It basically the implosion basically all started when Jimmy and Jay lost the tag titles at Mania.
Yeah, but then kind of the start of SmackDown, it was almost like we were gonna have the beginning of the breakout.
Yeah.
Then at the end of the night, you have the I don't think it was the end of the night. It was during the show. You have the Usos coming out from the crowd and beating the shit out of Cammy and
Cammy?
yeah, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Kevin and Sammy, yeah. Well, I mean, you had the Usos lose the titles at WrestleMania. They had a rematch for the titles of SmackDown. I think it was the next week. They lost again, the Usos. Well, this is during the draft. Like, oh, you're gonna be in the ocean of obscurity and whatever else. And, then it's like, alright, Usos go to SmackDown with Roman and Paul, fine, whatever the fuck. Now it seems to be really, it's a slow burn, which is fine, but the wheels are turning that there's going to be an implosion of the bloodline.
Yeah. And who knows when that's going to happen? It could happen very well at the end of the year. We'll see.
Possibly.
Yeah. So, yeah, Sammy and Kevin. Absolutely.
So next we go to this match. I mean, at Backlash, it was a fairly good match. Would have liked to have seen it go a little bit longer. We'll see what happens this time around. Once again, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, versus the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Oh! Okay. Yeah. I mean, Backlash, you have the first go around, and
yeah.
So this time it's like, okay, let's see where this goes. Because, and I thought about this earlier. So you have the match at Backlash, you go to Night of Champions, and I don't know, I can see Brock win easily.
Yeah,
because what comes right after Night of Champions? Hell in a Cell.
Yeah?
Maybe. Yeah. Because A, that'll be the rubber match, or whatever, and B, all feuds end basically now in a cell.
Well, actually,
sometimes.
I don't think they're doing that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view anymore.
Oh.
Because remember they made the announcement they're not going to do gimmick pay-per-views anymore?
Well, that sucks. Oh, I don't know what that means for Money in the Bank in London.
Well, they're still obviously going to have Money in the Bank in London. And then, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that in the future.
Regardless, I could see Brock and Cody have a third match.
Yeah.
That's kind of a given. No, I forgot about the whole, erasing gimmick pay-per-views or premium live events. But it's still going to be big, this third match, whatever happens now.
Yeah.
That also being said, I think this is going to be a street fight, or a fight.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Brock declared, so... Mm-hmm. But yeah, Cody won at Backlash. I see Brock win here.
Yeah, it's a very real possibility.
That's the thing, because we talked about it last time, and we both predicted Brock, but then Cody won.
Yeah. Brock can still potentially beat Cody. Cody, you could say was able to out-wrestle Brock.
Well, yeah.
But can Cody out-fight Brock? I don't know. And you got an angry beast? Ooh, God help you.
I mean, the thing is that Brock is one of those guys that he's very unstoppable.
Yeah.
But kind of forgot the fact that we talked about this ages ago and he had diverticulitis. And that probably bothers him quite a bit. That's why he might have lost. I don't know what happened there, but I think Brock is going to win this match. Then we'll see what happens in the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the supposed ending the story, okay, whatever. Cody, I could see go all the way to SummerSlam and get the title. I don't know which title, but he'll get it.
Yeah, for sure.
We are in different clothes.
Yeah.
That's because I found this out last Friday, and it's Natalya taking on the SmackDown Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah. And you know, I had said that when we did our backlash predictions that it would have been a good time to take the SmackDown Women's Championship off of Rhea and the Raw Women's Championship off of Bianca because they had swapped brands. Or if they didn't do it then, do it at Night of Champions. You have Bianca in a rematch against Asuka, then you have Rhea taking on Natalya. And I have been nothing but upfront and honest about my opinion of Natalya for the last eon. And I mean, I had no disrespect for Natalya, no hate for Natalya. It's just, they haven't done jack shit fuck all with her since 2007?
No, actually she debuted, well, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
2008, but you're right.
Or, okay, so what, 2011 then, whatever the fuck?
Yeah.
She won the Divas title?
Yeah, something like that. And then what?
She goes from being the Divas champion to being the brunt of a fart joke.
Do the fart joke, they do the Cully thing, with the Great Cully, you know, whatever, that was stupid. You do the thing recently with Ronda Rousey, the whole buggy fight. Yeah. Look, I mean, you want to make Rhea a credible heel, that's fine. Here's the problem. She's on Raw. And she's the SmackDown champion. So, honestly, it's due time for Natalya to get a championship again.
Absolutely.
It is far too long. And I'm not talking about the women's tag team titles. I'm talking about an actual singles fucking champion. Hell,
Yeah.
you can have Natalya and Rhea have a rematch at the next pay-per-view, which I'm not quite sure. SummerSlam. There you go.
Right. You have Rhea staying on Raw with the Judgment Day, that's all fine and good. But for the love of God, send the SmackDown Women's Championship back to SmackDown and have the Raw Women's Championship go back to Raw.
Yeah, I agree completely. I don't know why you did this, but you know what? Yeah, I think we're both in agreement. We want Natalya to win.
Yeah, for
So-
sure.
So we have this tournament that is going to determine the new World Heavyweight Champion, which I still like. I know I'm in the minority. But you're going to have AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins.
Hell yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be a really good match.
Oh, it will, for sure. I mean, you have two guys that have been in the ring for a long time.
Yes.
The veteran and AJ Styles, the guy who held a lot of fucking championships in the last 20, years or so.
Yeah.
You have somebody like Seth Rollins, who's, well, he could have done the same thing too. He's wrestled all over as well, and definitely it's going to be a hell of a match to determine a winner. Like,
really, dude, you don't know?
Oh, Seth Rollins, really?
Of course Seth's gonna fucking win. It's like I said before. They said the new World Heavyweight Championship is a Raw exclusive championship because Roman's on SmackDown with the Undisputed title. Of course Seth's gonna fucking win.
Alright, well then, I mean, Seth for the win.
But, I'm not trying to be, Mr. Obvious here, but I mean, like, they say, oh, we're going to have a tournament. Well, they first unveiled the new championship, and then, Roman got drafted to SmackDown, and Triple H said, well, that means the new world title is going to be a Raw exclusive championship.
Yeah.
And then, for the Backlash press conference, Triple H made the announcement of the championship. And I said then, you're pretty much telling us who's going to win long before we even knew who the fuck was even going to be in the tournament for the title.
Yeah.
Now, we got AJ versus Seth, and like I said, it should be, no pun intended, a phenomenal match. But of course Seth's going to fucking win.
Yeah, I'll go Seth too. And then my theory, which obviously may or may not happen because this guy is on SmackDown, but there's rumors that Edge is going to retire after winning one of the championships. So would that be SummerSlam? I don't know.
Right.
Because it happens to be Edge and Seth who had that epic feud. Well, okay, epic feud. Last year or the year before.
Yeah.
No, it was the year before. Whatever. That was a cool match. And those were cool. That was whatever. And then, of course, last year you had Edge versus AJ Styles.
Right.
That was pretty cool, too. I mean, that feud also ended because they had their match in Saudi Arabia. Hell in a Cell. So that'll be interesting, the outcome. We'll see what happens after, but I mean, obviously, it's gonna be Seth, and should never have doubted that, but meh.
Well, I don't necessarily think you were doubting it, you probably just forgot.
Well, that's true as well, I guess. So, we might as well talk about this. It's not on the card as of yet, but it was kind of written in stone on Raw. But we have the man, Becky Lynch, versus Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at Trish coming back, and the thing with Lita and
Becky and Lita were the tag champions. Lita got attacked by Damage Control. Was injured. Trish took her place. They lost the titles. And Trish turned on Becky.
That's right. Yeah, see, this is... I fucking hate those titles anyway.
Yeah.
By the way, let's talk about that for a second. Because we talked about this last night on Instagram, so why not? You have the women's tag team titles come back. You've got Bayley and Sasha. You have Tamina and Nia Jax.
Yes.
You've got fucking, I think, Shayna and Nia Jax. You have Naomi and Sasha. You have Damage Control. You have The Kabuki Warriors, I don't know why I'm listing all those fucking names. Last one, you got Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan. And now, Liv is out with an injury. So, like, the women's roster is not that hard. But the fact of the matter is you don't have a legit women take team. Shayna and Ronda. You had Shotzi, you had Natalia, but, you know, they're on different brands. So it just seems like, once again, you're letting the women's tag team division go, and I'm not sure where it's headed.
Yeah.
Like, Liv no longer isn't it, well, she's injured. I'm not sure when she's coming back. But it's almost like a wasted opportunity. There was no goddamn reason that you don't have enough women's tag teams. And yes, you have Isla Dawn and Elba Fire coming in, but we'll see what happens with the NXT tag team titles, because I'm not even sure why. Well, whatever. It doesn't. I don't care. I don't know where this is happening, and yes, you have Sonya and Chelsea Green. I just don't know what they're doing with the women's tag team division anymore. And it really pisses me off, because bringing back the women's tag team titles was a good idea. But I knew eventually it was going to suffer.
Bro, those fucking tag team titles suffered right out of the fucking gate. You had Bayley and Sasha as the inaugural women's tag team champions. They held it for a while. Then they lost them to whoever. They held them for a while. Then lost to the next team. Held them for a while. And so on and so on. It was like, whoever was the women's tag team champions held the titles for so long, and yeah, they would defend them, but really, it would only be periodically, because it would be like, okay, we need Shotzi and Natalia. Go have a match with the Iconics, for example. And then, you know, Shayna and Ronda, you're up next. And just essentially throwing random people together in tag teams just for the purpose of, well, having women's tag team matches, and then eventually having a match for the women's tag team titles.
I mean, yeah, I forgot Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. I don't know
Yes.
why, but that's just kind of like, yeah, let's throw shit together and see if it sticks.
Essentially.
And it's a damn shame, because, and I'm not saying that the women's tag team division in the 80s or whatever they made the tag team women's division worked as well, but this is just like, really? You could do better than this.
And you know, it's also not like there isn't enough women on that roster to have tag teams. It's just, call a spade a spade. The Raw and SmackDown women's championships are more important than the tag titles. Plain and fucking simple.
A spade is spade. The queen of spade.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I definitely agree.
And you would think that the women's tag team championships would be as important, because, like, you think about it, you know, whoever is the women's tag team champions, you know, they hold them, then when they lose them, then one of them could go for the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship, but they just haven't done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try to believe, and it's kind of difficult to hold on to that, because you have good ideas and then they just kind of flop and it sucks.
Yeah.
But
And like, okay, you having a, if you want to call it secondary women's title, whatever, was a really good idea. It's just, it's not as recognized as it should be.
no, it's not.
And like the potential was there, right from Jump Street. It is, to use one of my favorite lines, donkey fucked it up the ass.
Pretty much. Oh, pretty much. And that's yeah. Well, I'm not going to say anything I didn't already say. It's just Trish and Becky, so that's going to be a good match.
Oh, yeah.
For winner, I'm not quite sure, because, I mean, I could state the obvious and say Becky Lynch. Let's have the new Lioness go over the old Lioness, but it's kind of like, I don't know, because Trish can still go in the ring.
Oh, absolutely, she can.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. It's Night of Champions. It's not in North American soil, so
Yeah.
I mean, they could have a rematch at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, and that's cool. But, yeah. Honestly, I don't know.
To me, it's like, what's the best direction to go in? Because they seem to have rebuilt, so to speak, Becky as the man.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah.
You know, she's got the shirt, oh, the man of the people, and whatever. It's like, okay, cool. And so it's like, do you have Becky go over Trish and then, you know, keep that momentum going? Or do you have Trish win and then, let's say, go into another match at, you know, SummerSlam or whatever? Or, you know, Becky win and, you know, keep that momentum going. And then, let's say if Trish wins, like, what would you do after that?
Yeah.
Don't know.
I mean, the thing is, too, is that Becky is cool.
Yeah.
And not she's cool. She's, like, cool. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, she carries herself like that, I guess.
She carries herself as...
Cool hand Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that. And, I mean, you got Trish. She came back as the heel with the cowboy hat or whatever, and the fucking trench coat.
Yeah.
The silhouette entrance, I guess. I don't know. I think it's gonna be... If this match happens on Saturday, which I believe it will, it's gonna be a hell of a match.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. For shizzle.
For shizzle and ism. So, this has been Night of the Champions. And it's gonna be Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
So, again, this is why I thought about doing this now instead of wait. Because we already have, coming up, we have Battleground and Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned for those.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be an interesting show. And I mean, it could be my matches. I don't know. And hopefully we're going to see Becky and Trish. Maybe we'll see Sheamus and Austin Theory.
Yeah.
For the United States title. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But, again, hopefully our predictions are right.
Yeah.
So, until then, until next time, I'm me, Matt. This is Killer Kyle.
See ya.
Deuces.